Thank you for listening to Mobility Redefined, brought to you by Modaxo. For more insights and information, please visit mobilityredefined.com. That is mobilityredefined.com. Welcome to the Mobility Redefined podcast, where we explore innovations and forward-thinking strategies in urban mobility. I am Dr. Kaan Yildizgoz, and today I am excited to be joined by Dr. Mohammad Alghamdi, Deputy Mayor for Strategy and Transformation of Medina Municipality. Dr. Alghamdi is leading Medina's transformative journey towards sustainable and smart urban mobility, which is a vital part of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030. Welcome, Dr. Alghamdi.
Thank you, Dr. Khan, for the introduction. I'm happy to speak on the podcast today, and thank you very much for the opportunity.
It's a big pleasure for us to host you, Doctor, in this podcast. And Dr. Alghamdi will share his insights on Medina's strategic plans, key projects, and how innovative technology is reshaping the mobility both for residents of Medina and visitors in this historic city. So let me start with my questions, Dr. Alghamdi, if you are fine. Saudi Arabia, certainly last 10 years, is under strong transformation. So there is a clear vision that must set by management of Saudi Arabia, which is called Saudi Vision 2030. And in specific for transportation, there is National Transport and Logistics Strategy. How does Medina's urban mobility strategy aligning with this global strategies of Saudi Arabia?
Okay, this is a good question to start as well. But first, I would like to shed the light on what's important of Medina and why mobility is a significant issue in Medina. Well, probably most of the audience know that Medina holds immense religious, historical, and cultural significance. It's the second holiest city in Islam after Mecca. And it's the third largest city in Saudi Arabia in general. Medina population is almost 1.5 of permanent residents. And currently we are welcoming an extra 1.5 million visitors per month. And according to the Vision Ambitious Plan, we are aiming to reach triple this number. By 2030, we are expecting 30 million visitors. This puts tremendous pressure on the infrastructure and specifically on the mobility infrastructure. Medina Urban Mobility Strategy is designed to align closely with the Saudi Arabia Vision 2030 and the National Transport and Logistics Strategy. As I said, Vision 2030 aims to enhance the quality of life for Saudi citizens and promote sustainability development, in addition to serve and welcome this number of visitors by 2030 and beyond. We are focusing on reducing the carbon emission on the same wavelength by improving the quality of the public transportation and the accessibility to the public transportation, and integrates all this on one platform. This is a dream that it should come true in the near future. Our strategy in general supports the transport and logistics strategy by enhancing connectivity, promoting public transportation usage, and fostering innovation and transport solutions. For example, currently we are developing an ambitious plan for bus rapid transit, which is the BRT system, and Smart Medina initiatives are key projects reflect to these national objectives. We are trying now to start connecting the small dots in this strategy. Last year, we created a joint venture for micro mobility. It was a JV between Medina Municipality, Investment Arm, and Maqar and Karim Bikes. Currently, we have a network of 180 bike stations, and I can tell you the usability for those bikes are more than 86% around the day.
It's very interesting, especially to see how you are expecting in terms of this bike sharing network in city of Medina. Doctor, you mentioned about, let's say, the Hajj, which is a very important gathering. I discuss all around the world with different people, particularly around organizing transport during large events like Olympics, World Cup, and so. But Saudi Arabia and certainly Medina is one of the leading cities on this one. You are having such kind of a volume of visitors every year.
Yes.
Almost like you're organizing every year an Olympics in your city. So it's one of the largest annual gatherings of the world. How does Medina manage transport, particularly during this period also? What kind of the specific challenges of this period, Hajj period? What kind of specific things you are doing for managing transport during this period?
Okay, so managing transport during Hajj is a significant challenge because the numbers I mentioned, it's a relaxed goal per month. When I talk about 1.5 to 3 million visitors per month, it's a bit relaxed. And Hajj, probably as everybody knows, you are welcoming 3 to 4 million on a period of 10 days only. So managing transport during Hajj is a significant challenge. And we have developed a comprehensive plan to ensure smooth mobility for pilgrims. During Hajj, we significantly increase our public transport capacity by adding more buses. And this is an issue, Dr. Khan. Now we depend heavily on buses, on non-sustainable buses, and we are changing this in the near future. The buses historically is like conventional buses operated by fossil fuel or diesel. And this puts tremendous amount of carbon emission in the area for a short time. Currently, we are adopting several strategies to reduce this. For the coming period, we are requesting the transport companies to adopt more of hybrid, if not electric, buses instead. As I said, we are planning for the BRT, which is a more sustainable solution. We are trying to control the usage time for buses. We are increasing the pedestrian-friendly streets because we would like the pilgrims to practice walking and wandering the city in the same time to reach between attractions, between the Prophet Mosque, between Quba Mosque, between attractions around the city. We have almost 40 attraction spots around the city. If the visitors would cruise the city with conventional buses, this is a disaster to the environment. So we are putting an ambitious plan for the coming 5 years to phase out conventional buses, replacing it either with electrical solutions, if not electrical, it's going to be a hybrid, or with public transportations or micro transportation solutions.
It's great to see how you are putting decarbonizing your transport system as a priority, because Saudi Arabia is well known as an oil producer, and you are trying to make this shift into the sustainable electric modes of transport in the country. That's a big vision in Saudi Arabia, I must admit. And one question also specific to Saudi Arabia from my mind is that Saudi cities have been highly dependent on private cars many years, and the society is very much, let's say, feeling themselves more closer to use their private cars instead of public transport, instead of other sustainable modes. How you are handling this perspective? How you are thinking that you can convince these people to use more sustainable modes and living their private cars?
This is a very important question. If we look back to the history for the development for Saudi cities, probably at some time we didn't see the need for an infrastructure that assists pedestrian and micro mobility solutions. And currently, it's part of the, if we can call it the humanization process, the rehumanization process for the whole city. Now we have a strategic plan for rebuilding the streets in a more humanized way. We rebuilt the sidewalks, the pavements. We have a plan for more than 260 kilometers of bike lanes inside the city. So basically, the mobility is one aspect of lifting up the quality of life in the city. We have more pavement, more bike lanes, we have more sustainable transportation options. We're introducing new concepts to the society because we don't want people to rely heavily on cars, on private cars. We would like them to tend to walk, use micro mobility solutions like bikes or scooters, or even to use shared transportation options. So, as I said, we are changing the quality of life in general.
That's perfect. And then earlier you mentioned about the BRT system that you plan to put in place in Medina for enhancing public transportation. And what is your vision for this BRT, bus rapid transit system in Medina, and how will it benefit residents and visitors?
Well, as I said, we took our time planning for the BRT. Our vision for the BRT in Medina is to create modern, efficient, and sustainable public transportation network that significantly reduce travel time and reduce dependency on individual transportation options. The BRT system will feature dedicated lanes, ensuring faster and more reliable service. The layout or the urban design of the city gives us a fact that historical spots are where people reside. And everywhere we have like a historical spot and it's an attraction at the same time. So planning the BRT wasn't that difficult for us. We had a nice journey planning the BRT, making sure that this BRT lanes and those BRT lanes and zones will be serving both the residents and the visitors at the same time.
So when we can ride the BRT in Medina, what's your target date that BRT to be operational?
Well, I will not give any promises, but we are planning before 2030, inshallah, where we are working hard. We are building new models. Public transportation is very expensive. So we are attracting investors to participate in the BRT infrastructure and operations. And as I said, inshallah, before 2030, it will be up and running.
I will be looking forward to ride the BRT in Medina because I love BRTs. A few years of my career I spent for the design and construction of the BRT in Istanbul, which is now carrying around 1 million passengers per day over 52 kilometers, which is very important for the city. And it was a game changer in transport system of the city. I guess that could be the similar for Medina. And good luck for this plan, Mr. Mayor. So maybe a few other questions, because we talk about the BRT, but also we know that you have ideas in terms of transforming your taxi transport, which is very essential. If someone asks me what is the most important mode of shared mobility or in general public transport in the Middle East cities, I could tell them the taxis are very important because it provides door-to-door opportunity for people. And in Saudi Arabia, taxis were many years owned and operated by individuals. I guess that's the case for Medina now as well. What steps are being taken to modernize and regulate the taxi services in Medina now?
Okay, this is a very important and good question. We are taking several steps to modernize and regulate taxi service in Medina. We are introducing taxi apps, or we are working toward the taxi super app. We will allow users to book rides easily and track their journeys in real time. Currently, we operate more than 4 commercial-based apps, but those has their glitches and their downs. Currently, we are working on uplifting the public taxi service, creating a public taxi service app, and creating a public taxi super app that will link all the platforms together, giving the user the option to select between taxi service providers in the city. Partnership with private companies are being formed to enhance the efficiency and reliability of taxi service. And we are exploring the potential of introducing electrical taxi as well to align with our sustainability goals.
So it's very interesting to put electric taxis as well for the future. And I know you mentioned about, let's say, the technology here. And I know that this is a very important topic for you. And Medina, if I'm not wrong, Medina have Smart Medina initiative as a position in Medina as a smart city. What is the Smart Medina program and how is it also linked with the transportation?
Well, the Smart Medina program is a comprehensive initiative aiming to leverage technology to enhance the quality of life for our residents and visitors. In terms of urban transportation services, Smart Medina incorporates IoT devices and data analytics to improve traffic management and public transportation efficiency. I'll give you one example of smart city initiatives that we are adopting this season, starting off Ramadan. There is a national initiative to equip all buses and heavy trucks with AVL and RFID on board. So we got access to the data by, they call it Tahakkum, which is a company owned and operated by the TGA, the Transportation General Authority. So we got access to those data and we are controlling the routes and the performance of every single bus getting to the city. So all the drivers, they know that they have been monitored, their speed, their entrance points, their exiting points, their waiting time, because all this has implications to the environment, have implications on the sustainability of the city. So I'm just giving one example of a project that we are adopting in this season, along with linking the findings with the efficiency of the buses and transportation routes. We will be able to we make a paradigm shift in the experience for the visitors, because we received plenty of complaints about drivers' behaviors, drivers' waiting time, drivers' effect on, because the driver maybe may he leave the bus up and running for a long time, and it's a diesel bus. By the end of the day, it has a very bad implications on the environment. So we are trying to monitor the behavior and correct the behavior of the drivers as well in terms of availability, speed, and driving behavior. So this is just one example of what transferring to a smart city can give you to change the quality of life and service for visitors.
It's certainly it's very exciting to imagine how this project will not only transform travel but also boost the local economy and the global reputation of the city of Medina. If I'm not wrong, also now you have the high-speed rail coming to the Medina. Am I right on this, Doctor?
Definitely, yes. We have a link from Mecca through Jeddah and Thuwan, King Abdullah city, to Medina. Was one of the greatest transportation initiatives in the past 5 years in the kingdom. It gives an option for an ultra high speed travel between Mecca and Medina. You can travel more than 450 kilometers in less than 2 hours. And it's being used efficiently, and the occupation is almost 95% around the year.
Oh, that's a perfect. That's very great figures. And then I will believe you're looking forward to expansion of the high-speed rail among other cities in Saudi Arabia, connecting, because it will be also very important because you will be hosting the World Cup in Saudi Arabia. So connection between the cities will be very important for hosting the World Cup as well.
Well, in the plans for hosting the World Cup, actually, we are very proud of it. And in Medina, although we don't have a stadium, but we have two training camps for two international teams. So connectivity between the cities is a big issue. Thanks God, we already have the connectivity between Medina and Jeddah and Mecca. And everybody know there is an ambitious plan of completing the link. There are like a few other trains. There is the train from Riyadh to the north, Higher and Hafr al-Batin. There is the train from Riyadh to Dammam. And hopefully the link between Riyadh and Jeddah and Medina will be completed soon. And by then you have like a good and actually a great connectivity through high-speed trains across the kingdom.
That's perfect. And if we look for the future, are there any other key mobility initiatives that you would like to share with us, Doctor, further enhancing the transport efficiency and sustainability in the city of Medina?
As I said, now I can rephrase it on the initiatives of the BRT of changing and uplifting the taxi service. We already done with implementing the first micro mobility solution by joint venturing to create the bike stations and bike lanes around the city. We depend heavily on changing the habits of the people around the city. We want the people to walk more, to use the micro mobility solutions more, and to get used to the shared transportation, public transportation options. So along with the infrastructure, we depend heavily on the people to get on board and to help us changing the look for the city by make it more humanized, more pedestrian-friendly, and bikers-friendly. After collaborating for the bike stations around the city, we're expanding to scooters and to electric self-driven shuttles. So hopefully in the coming 5 years, we'll be seeing more and more of adopting more technologies, more solutions, and most importantly, seeing more people walking around their neighborhoods instead of driving for 5 minutes. They'll be walking for 30 minutes with the great benefits and implications on their benefits before the environment and society in general.
What a comprehensive approach. Medina is, I'm sure, lucky to have managers like you leading this transformation, and I'm very much looking forward to see all the outcomes in few years. Thank you so much, Dr. Alghamdi, for sharing these forward-thinking insights on Medina's urban mobility transformation. And it has been really a big pleasure having you on the Mobility Redefined podcast. You shared a lot of insights with many listeners all around the world. And I would like to also thank to our listeners who were tuning in Stay tuned for more conversations with leaders who are redefining the mobility all around the world.
Thank you very much, Dr. Khan. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank our leadership of this ambitious vision and giving us the plan actually to innovate and to come up and implement different solutions for a brighter future for the country, for serving the residents in the best way, and for welcoming visitors for religious and any other goals with comfort and a good environment. Thank you very much for your time. And hopefully all the plans will be realized and come as final products and see the lights.
Thank you so much, Dr. Alghamdi. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to Mobility Redefined, brought to you by Modaxo. For more insights, visit our website at mobilityredefined.com or follow us on LinkedIn. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite app to stay updated with our latest episodes. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed the conversation.